Guidance for the month, December 2020. Here on December 16th, it is a good time to be revisiting the intuitive guidance reading that started off for a month. We're halfway through, and it is quite a December. Lots going on with different holidays, planetary events, and of course, individual and societal happenings. So when this reading came through, when this guidance came through early in December, on the first day, actually before we got into December, it was a full moon. And now it's a couple of days after a new moon that had a solar eclipse, and we're ready to continue looking at what was the guidance, what came through, what was it suggesting that we reflect on or take note of. When I wrote this, the idea of vision and the reminders of vision, how it had started off this year, Vision 2020, was super important. And it continues as we finish off this year and look ahead. The idea of envisioning, what do we have in our minds, our hearts, our lives for the vision in the here and now, as well as a vision ahead. So allow yourself to remember that also as we move into solstice season and all that that brings. The oracle card for December 2020 is the Waterfall card, Effortless, from the Earth Magic Oracle cards. It says one of my favorite cards in the decks that I use. On the image, it has rich forest, strong mountains, trees, ancient rocks, and water flowing over layers. Effortlessness in action, effortlessness in flow, while understanding the balance of activity and just going with it all. This month is a culmination of so many factors coming together. Many people will only see one or two, and may likely not see how they intersect and evolve together. This does not mean that they cannot. Even as this is being written, it is extending the invitation to see more of the factors, to see the lines intersecting, to see the balance, to see the flow, to see their own place and space, and their own actions as they happen. It is an invitation to see the connections in all their wonder and magnificence. As this invitation is extended, it adds to it the request to leave behind the expectations that often come. So many times, each person is full of such expectations that life can never measure up. Disappointment after disappointment fills their energy and their perception. Their cups become so empty, and their glasses become filtered in ways that do not wipe off with an easy cloth. The coming together, the invitation to connect, and the releasing of expectations. How does the mere mortal play in all of this? They start with the flow of the moment, identifying what is working and what is not working, as far as they see it, for their own survival and wellness. They extend this momentary flow out beyond the immediate perception into their energy. This gives new perspective, and this gives access to connection they did not realize is needed or is present already. Rather than expecting it, they find it. Rather than expecting solutions where the brain spends all of its time searching, they find the solutions and options that are right here already and access them. The frustration of what others are seeing and not seeing is also an expectation. How to release what you hope others will understand and act upon? Start with yourself. Where are your expectations? Look at how you are living versus what you thought was going to be. Compare and come into the present moment. Learn and come into the present moment. Release and then come into the present moment and hope others do the same. When their hurt and fear is so strong that they can only reach out in hostility and anger, in acts that harm and jeopardize the wellness of others, stand in your space with calm strength, showing them another way. You can yell and scream and dictate and expect all you want. And then, at some point, you will realize that it is like doing that to a mirror. You are the one who lives that experience. You are the one who creates it. It is from your own expectation, hurt, and fear that you want to lash out. What if you were cocooned in a blanket of safety and compassion? What if you knew that when you needed food, it arrived? When you needed shelter from the cold, it was there for you. And when you needed assistance, it arrived as easily as you breathed into the thought. What if? Would those feel better to you? Would they allow healing where it is needed? Would the hurt dissipate gradually, replaced by what? By love? By compassion? By connection? By wholeness? Start there. Start in that what if in the moment and let it soak in like a well-germinated and fertilized seed. Give it room in the moment to grow and flourish. Know that it will blossom and expand. As each of these points and actions seems to take effort, take your breath into your body. Feel as it nourishes you. Let the organs and systems of your being have your attention, even just for a moment, with gratitude for their workings, with gratitude for what they allow in you and you because of them. Let the effort start to become one of present time and in flow. The more and more this happens, the more effortless it will feel and become. Will you have times when you need to swim, when the water you're in asks you to take effort to stay high enough to breathe? Yes. Yes, there will be those times. They are part of the flow and the wild adventure of your existence. At other times, the flow will seem so utterly effortless that you will wonder how your feet are still on the ground and how things are coming to you as help and joy so easily and freely. And there will be times when you are floating in the status quo, in the present situation or circumstance, in the challenge or in the wonderful, seemingly stopped and not sure whether you are pooling or falling. You may feel unable to see where the waterfall will bring you next, or if it is even moving. These times may exist to bring you a pause, to wait for something to line up, to wait for a connection, for a moment of learning or growth, or simply to ask you to stop and smell the roses, to notice the joy, to feel the fun, to be fully present in the sadness, whatever is in the depth of the here and now. And then, when that pause has run its course, you will notice you are floating in flow again, walking with purpose, acting with living moments, and seemingly journeying once again. Effort without effort. So when you are drawn to notice this month, where things are not working for the highest good, where people are struggling, where they are wearing their hurt and their fear on their sleeves, or where there is nakedness when that is considered unacceptable, wild when it is considered unnatural. Start with you. What that flows into you, what that connects you with, what that leads you to, what that asks you to act on, what that asks you to respond with kindness and compassion, and what that asks you to respond in calm strength. You are a starting point at all times. You may not see how all the dots connect to you and your life, but you are invited to know it is happening and to know you have a place within it because you are so full of value, worth, connection, energy, and love. You are so full of these things that you often forget. Lead yourself to it. Lead yourself. Be led. Let yourself be led. Whether it is via a child's smile, a sense of purpose, a candle, a star, or a deep love moment with the universe. Embrace this effortless waterfall. There is so much to see and experience along the way. The best views and journey moments ever. With deep love for you in this present moment, Sheila, and divine, infinite spirit wisdom with the Earth Magic Oracle cards. The Earth Magic Oracle cards are by Stephen Farmer and published by Hay House. Thank you so much for joining me, Sheila Bicknell, BlueWater Oracle, as I revisit the December guidance reading and how valuable it is. Wishing you well. Until next time.